Hello everybody, welcome to The Tube. We got a lot going on today and that's what's in store. The most wanted man alive now has a face thanks to YouTube. Israeli startups help local governments plan their traffic management. Kinect 2.0 takes a step away from Xbox and into, well, everything else. Google CEO talks about the near future where robots take our jobs. A new internet hero, potato salad dude, the social watch and more, but let's start in Gaza. Over the past week, the hashtag Gaza under attack has been used hundreds of thousands of times, often to distribute pictures claiming to show the effects of Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. But, like almost any other conflict in the world, a BBC investigation has found that many of these images are not from the latest conflict and not even from Gaza. Some images spread through Twitter and Facebook date as far back as 2009, and others are from conflicts in Syria and Iraq and Afghanistan. That's quite embarrassing. To avoid such disinformation, before you retweet or share an image, just copy its URL and check its authenticity through Google Images. That can't be very hard, now can it? Okay? Peace. And now, for our next story, we finally meet Mr. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the most wanted man alive. Also, a man that had no face until now, and that's thanks to YouTube. Al-Baghdadi is the leader of ISIS, the militant group that rampaged through Iraq in recent weeks. He remained underground and unseen throughout the last year since ISIS emerged, but now he seemingly changed his policy on public appearances. The leader spoke publicly for the first time at Mosul's Great Mosque on Friday. This is the first time the world has seen his face. Sources within the Iraqi government claim the video was fake, but American experts vouch for its authenticity. He brought a touch of branding into the conflict, with many commenting on his expensive wristwatch estimated to have cost more than $5,000. Good to know he's doing so well. Here he is in all his YouTube glory.
إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليمًا كثيرًا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون.
Yeah, I don't know. Nice watch. Let's move on. If you use the travel app Waze or bus app Moveit in Rio de Janeiro, you will be tracked by the local government, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. According to Forbes, Rio is the first city to collect real-time data from drivers using the Waze navigation app and pedestrians who use public transportation app Moveit, giving it an unprecedented view on thousands of moving points across the sprawling city. Rio's Department of Transportation harvests data from smartphones using the Israeli apps and identifies potential traffic jams and problems. The department then sends traffic alerts to the smartphones. How does it all work? With us in the studio is Moveit's Director of Business Development, Amy Wayron. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi. So, with all the scary news about user data and privacy compromised by companies and governments, weren't you worried about responses by users?
I think it's important to keep in mind that the data that we collect from our users is completely anonymous, and we don't collect, track, share any identifying information. What we do share, both with the user community and also with the governments that we partner with, is aggregated data about what's the best way to get from point A to point B in real time. And with governments, we help them to identify the areas of the city where there may be problems happening, so that they can use this information to actually give better service to the users. So in the end, we see a win-win situation where the governments are having better data inputs coming from Moveit that users are sharing with their smartphones, and users in the end are actually getting better data about the transit system that they're trying to use.
That's really interesting. Let's talk a little bit about Rio de Janeiro and the corporation. How did it come to be? I mean, are you working with them closely, or do you just help them access the database? How's it working?
So Rio de Janeiro is one of the cities where Moveit is very, very successful. I mean, in Brazil, we have already more than 1.5 million users after launching there just over a year ago. And one of the reasons is because of the close collaboration that we have on various levels in Rio. We cooperate with the transit operator, with the technology organization responsible for Rio, and also with the Center of Operations for Rio de Janeiro. They have, especially because of the major events that are happening in Rio, the World Cup and the Olympics coming up, Rio is investing a lot in technology in order to make sure that the city is accessible, safe, easy to get around, and so we're cooperating with together with the Center of Operations to make sure that they have transit data included in this.
Okay, so let's talk about what you can actually do with this real-time data. I mean, you can't magically make traffic jams disappear.
Sure. There's a number of different ways that we cooperate with regarding the data. On the one hand, we have the reports. So operators and agencies and governments can see that if a specific line, for example, users are always saying this line is crowded, it's not stopping at the stops, they can actually take action and make corrections in their management and planning. As far as real-time data is concerned, they're able to add more buses to crowded routes. They're able to actually also alert users if there's changes to service. For example, I don't know, an unexpected block in the road and buses are taking a different route. Moveit enables them to actually message the users and say, hey, the bus you were planning to take is not going on schedule. You need to make a different plan. So this sort of real-time ability, not only for them to receive the inputs from us, but also to then message back to the users and help them get where they're going. We see real value in this, both for the transportation operators and for the users as well.
Sounds amazing. You know, the Ford report says you're conducting this experiment with other cities in the world as well. Which ones?
Recently, there was a major event in Rome with the Pope canonization, and they had 3 to 4 million tourists arriving in the city. And so we worked together with Roma Mobilità, the transportation operator in Rome, to make sure that people had real-time messages targeted geographically. So if I'm in a specific area of the city, I'll get messages related to the area that I'm in. And it was a great success. The event went on without a hitch and worked quite well. Also in Madrid, with EMT Madrid, we saw that actually by making better access to the data, they were able to increase ridership by 5% over a 6-month period, which is something incredible, especially in a time of crisis, just by giving better access to better data via smartphone applications like Moveit.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And is this a business model for Moveit or just something interesting to be part of?
We're 100% focused now on having the best app for public transit around the world. And we're in more than 400 cities today. We have more than 7 million users. And 100% of our focus goes to building the best app. Part of building the best app is having the best data, and that's where the cooperation with the agencies comes in.
Sounds perfect. Well, good luck, and thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, do you feel like Microsoft's Kinect is not enough for a very spooky camera that can detect your every move and even your face all the time? Well, tough luck, there's a new Kinect in town. Microsoft's second Kinect sensor for Windows is arriving on July 15th for $199, and it's aiming to take things even further away from gaming. Compared to the previous versions, it now features a higher fidelity sensor with a 1080p camera, a larger field of view, and better skeletal tracking, enabling unlimited possibilities for software developers. The original Kinect has been used across a number of interactive art installations, medical applications, and more. This is how Microsoft imagined the Kinect being used upon its first release, and it's just the beginning.
We started with a sensor that turned voice and movement into magic.
Xbox, play.
And we thought, this will be fun to play with. And it was. But something amazing is happening. The world is starting to imagine things we hadn't even thought of. Unexpected things. Helpful things. Beautiful things. Inspired things. Which is why, even though the world keeps asking us what we'll do with Kinect next, we're just as excited to ask the world, The same thing.
There's something amazing and sad about seeing people playing instruments without the instrument in a recording booth, but you know, the future is near, we'll wait and see. Now, the man who made billions at his full-time job running Google thinks you should stop worrying so much about losing your own full-time job to the robots that his company is building. Google CEO Larry Page said last week that he found one possible answer to the serious problem of humans struggling to find work, partially because they are being replaced by robots. And his answer is to just reduce work time. So simple, how didn't we think of it earlier? He was speaking at a fireside chat with his fellow Google co-founder Sergey Brin and venture capitalist Vinod Khosla. All three men are billionaires who never need to work a day again. Check him out.
Yeah, if you really think about the things that you need to make yourself happy, it's like housing, security, opportunity for your kids. Anthropologists have identified these things. It's not that hard for us to provide those things. The amount of resources we need to do that, the amount of work that actually needs to go into that, it's pretty small. I'm guessing less than 1%.
Yeah.
At the moment. So the idea that everyone needs to work frantically to meet people's needs is just not true. So I do think there's a problem that we kind of don't recognize that, and I think there's also kind of a social problem that a lot of people aren't happy if they don't have anything to do. So we need to give people things to do, You need to feel like you're needed and wanted and have something productive to do. But I think the mix with that and the industries we actually need and so on there's not a good correspondence. That's why we're busy destroying the environment, doing other things maybe we don't need to be doing.
Yes, after this mesmerizing monologue, Page added that most people, if I asked them, would you like an extra week of vacation, they raise their hands. Most people like working, but they'd also like to have more time with their family or to pursue their own interests. Gee, thanks for thinking about our free time, Mr. Page. Thank you very much. Late last week, amidst an agonizingly slow pre-holiday news cycle, CNET introduced the world to Zach Danger Brown, a Columbus, Ohio native who wanted to crowdfund the making of his very first potato salad on Kickstarter. He wanted $10. He got more than $35,000 and counting. The Kickstarter was so successful, Zach made to all his goals, so now he can also buy better mayonnaise from the natural food section, of course, that's done. Call a chef to get a better recipe, that's done as well. Make way more potato salad and probably do a third recipe, done. Now it seems like Mr. Danger is about to become a global potato salad empire, whether he wants to or not. In the following video, he thanks his supporters and funders, but let's see him after he peels all those potatoes. Ha ha ha, take a look.
Hey Internet, this is amazing. When I started this campaign, my secret goal was that we could make $60, and in 3 days, we've made 1,000% of that, $5,000. Thank you so much. I could never have done this without you and your support. I've been hard at work in the kitchen, learning how to boil potatoes. And this week we're going to release a few new updates, some new stretch goals, and we have some exciting announcements for you. So please stay tuned, and again, thank you so much for helping me live my dreams.
The fact that he's taking it so seriously, isn't that a bit weird? I don't know. Well, follow your dreams, Zach. Bon appetit. Now, as the World Cup gets into the crucial final stages, Australia's Sportsbet imagines what if the game was to be changed into something a little more, I don't know, Pokemon.
And welcome back to the 2014 World Cup, live from Cerulean City. Lovely to be here, Terry.
Thanks, Terry. Sure to be a marvellous game.
Marvellous indeed. Players scrambling now as we ready for Italy's kickoff. And a big kick there. And Italy with the first capture.
That's a level 35 Jefferson. Gotta be happy with that.
Balotelli resisting.
No one can resist that master ball, mate.
Neymar should be happy with that, but oh, he's wandered into some tall grass and is being torn apart by a Cypher.
Should have used a repel.
Should have used repel. Wow, but it seems as though Brazil have chosen a Charizard to incinerate their own goal. That'll make it tricky for the Italians to score.
Yes, but it's confused their goalie.
Well, let's hope he doesn't hurt himself. Wow, and with that final capture, plus those 3 players flown away by Pidgeys.
And one shiny Pidgey.
That is game over for the Italian side.
Looks as though the Italian coach has fainted.
Oh, wow, just super effective play by Brazil.
And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Log on to our Twitter and then to our Tumblr. It's the24. And always remember, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. We need peace. That's Jimi Hendrix. Goodbye.